Ride around my top down, window shaking a lot now. I'ma stay proud, no Kane Brown, but I thank God for these days now. Don't make sounds, crash glass, no rebounds. End town, Nashville, and I stay proud now. Welcome to Nashville, where the conversations are always nasty. As always, brought my main man, DeMonte.
What's up? What's up?
And the one and only Care Bear, where positivity matters.
What's up?
We have a very, very special guest in the building today. Technically not in the building, but in his car, Danny Olabi. How's it going,
Danny?
my brother?
Yeah, what's good, y'all? What's good, man? How y'all doing, man?
Doing good,
bro.
doing good, man.
Awesome.
So,
Listen, man, I'm just happy to be here, man. I'm glad that you guys are bringing me on your platform, man. That's an honor in itself.
thanks,
Yeah.
man. It's an honor
Appreciate
to get
having
you
you.
on our platform. I mean, you're doing big things, man. You've always been doing big things. Like,
Hey, man, great, man. We go back a little while now, man. So it's only right, I show out for my boy.
absolutely. Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Danny is my boy.
Yeah.
Like, this is my
Yeah.
homie, man.
Hey, man,
So,
I've learned, Dan, I done learned this dude Rolodex is like no other. I mean, I swear, I was like, man, I thought I had boys in life until I found out I don't really have boys in life.
Oh, man, that's funny.
Yeah, so Danny, big time, like up and coming actor, and I wouldn't
Right.
say like up and coming. I mean,
He's
the
made
cat's doing some crazy
Yeah.
roles for some of the biggest TV
Yeah.
shows in the game. Has worked with like main stars like Donnie Wahlberg and you name it. I mean, Blacklist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like on the Blacklist, like you name it. Danny's been involved. Wu-Tang,
Law and Order. Crew.
Law and Order,
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
The kid doesn't, man.
Yeah.
And it's tough.
I'm actually I appreciate that, man. I'm actually also working on a new it's not a new show. It's a new show in terms of me being on it. A new CBS show right now. I can't really say what it is yet though, but yeah. Those network shows move pretty fast, so I'll be able to, drop some news on it soon. But
Good.
yeah, I'm working on a CBS show right now. It's another cop show. And it's just been like so much fun, man. It's been a lot of like long hours, but it's like I wouldn't like want to be doing anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, you got to
that's
tell
awesome.
us, bro,
Can't wait
because
to
I mean,
hear. Yeah.
for up and coming actors and people that are trying to get into acting, like acting is a tough business.
Yeah,
It's
maybe
probably
one of the toughest.
it's probably one of the
for
toughest
sure.
businesses
For sure,
or
for
whatever.
sure.
And like thanks to you, like we had Showtime Brando as our first episode
Yeah.
on Nashville. And
That's
then
my boy.
now we get to have you on Nashville, which
Right.
is crazy.
Right.
And Showtime, he explained to us, he did like 5,000 auditions or something crazy before he got one freaking role or whatever
Wow.
for P-Valley that he
Wow. I didn't even know that.
did. Yeah, he said
Yeah.
he did like
Yeah.
5,000 auditions and then got one role.
Yeah, his grind was major.
was
Wow.
major.
Wow.
Major grind.
It's
Major.
crazy.
Explain to us a little bit of your journey. We know you did, or tell our audience, like, where'd you go? You went to school for acting, or how did that?
Yeah. It's definitely one of those things you got to be in the long haul for it, man. It's like you can't compare your journey to anybody else's. Like, it's really got to be something that you're willing to give your all to. Like, I feel like I started doing it professionally, like officially in 2019. But I went to school. I started going to school for it in 2017. I did a 2-year acting conservatory program. But I was still auditioning while I was in school, even though I wasn't supposed to. I would like sneak in auditions here and there because they wanted us to focus, on learning, and I love that. But whenever I had the opportunity, I would audition for stuff. I worked during the summer, and like I remember I actually ended up booking my first TV role while I was in school. It was like for one of those like low grade network shows. I don't want to say low grade, but it wasn't like prime time TV.
Right.
It was like one of those crime reenactment shows. So I've been working professionally, I would say, since like 2018. But I feel like I've been preparing for this my whole life, and I didn't even know it. Like when I was a kid, I would make short films in my basement with my iPad. Like I would get all my family together, and I would pitch them the idea on the spot, and I would tell everybody what they're doing. I was always the main character, and it was just like I remember one time, like we even made a theme song up on the spot. Like we called our show the Lottery Ticket. It was crazy. Like we were really all in, just kids being kids. And at the time, I never knew how full circle those moments would become.
Yeah.
because I was just doing it for fun and because I wanted to be like the people I saw on TV. Like I never thought it would be a career choice one day because I just, you watch people on TV and you're like, how do they get there? Like, are they in an alternate
Yeah.
universe or something? Like, I don't like. It was always mind boggling to me. But I just have great parents who's like when I decided that I wanted to become an actor, they supported me, full on, and it's just been no looking back ever since.
So Danny, you kind of beat me because I think one of the things I was going to ask is you always have that
Uh-huh.
little kid, and every family has one. You got that
Yeah.
one in everybody. I don't care what cousin or brother or distant whatever you are, whatever your relation is. Every family has that one kid that's everybody look at and
Uh-huh.
go, this kid should go into acting. This kid should go do that.
Uh-huh.
Because that
Yeah.
personality, for the people that make it, and I mean, and maybe not for all, but mainly people that make it, I guarantee at some point early on, somebody recognized that Danny had something
Yeah.
special. So is
Yeah.
that,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you kind of already just answered the question almost in that, I was the main character. Danny's like, no, this my red carpet, not. Gray is the co-star.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be,
Uh-huh.
the star of
Uh-huh.
this show. So no,
Yeah.
that's awesome, though, man.
Well,
That's
Oh, thank you
awesome.
Danny,
so
I
much. I
will tell you,
appreciate that, man.
like Danny on the biggest platform ever, which is like TikTok for
Right.
videos and stuff
Uh-huh.
like that.
Yeah.
This cat's got like 1.6 or 1.8 million followers.
Right.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
From
don't get
doing
that.
skits.
I was gonna say, yeah, you don't get that from just rolling over and be like, you know what, I'm gonna download this app.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I did.
download this
I
app.
did that. I did that as an old man, and I can promise you how that ends. It don't end well. You'd be like,
No.
oh, 87 views,
Yo,
yay!
it is freaking hard to break any platform or
87
whatever.
views.
Yeah.
hmm
So
Let
no,
me
that's
try
fun.
this out. And just boom.
Right.
It's hard. It's hard to break any freaking platform.
Yeah.
This dude, like,
Yeah.
that's like I met Danny like 4 or 5 years ago. The first song I ever recorded when I moved out to
Mhm.
Nashville was Rideho.
Okay.
First
Mhm.
song ever. Like I moved to Nashville like a week later. I was recording Rideho.
Right.
I ran a contest. Danny ended up winning the contest
Okay.
or whatever. Like straight up. So bad to the point because everyone else was doing a dance
Right.
and he did a skit
Okay.
and freaking
Mhm.
and it was like who had the best dance. But all of Danny's fans were like sneaky like, sneaky like, sneaky like. Blew up
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
page
Yeah.
with like 1,000 comments.
Right.
I'm like, holy shit! Like like this kid, he has to win. Like,
Right,
like
yeah.
he has the
Yeah.
best skit. He's got
Yeah,
the
but you
best.
didn't. But you didn't want the fallout of him not winning, is what that was. That was more personal for you.
No,
You didn't
no.
want to get trolled and drugged because that man didn't win the contest. Danny's a
Gray was
smart.
like, I like my house
Yeah,
without
right.
tomatoes on them.
Yes,
So,
correct.
Danny
Yeah.
ran a whole campaign on you and he won. So
Oh, he
Yeah.
won the freaking campaign by a landslide.
that's funny, man.
And then from there on, I mean, we've been boys ever since. He's helped me run some of my biggest campaigns online, like or on TikTok.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
we did Lucky Walk together and brought
Okay.
it to like the number freaking 3 song on TikTok, which
That's
was
cool.
massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. And when I look back at that moment, that's like a testament to just like being yourself and don't be afraid to be yourself, especially as a creative. Because I remember when the challenge came across, when I can't remember how I found out about the challenge. I don't know if your people reached out or something like that, but I knew it was a dance, but I was like, I don't dance on TikTok. So it's like,
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I guess this is the competition, but I'm gonna do a skit because that's how this song inspires me. I'm gonna just do my own thing with it. And I was confident enough that it was like, this is gonna be creative and original enough that it's like, even if I don't win, I think he'll definitely appreciate the art of it.
Right.
So
hmm
I was
That's
just
dope.
like, I'm gonna do my thing. Like, even though I can dance and stuff, but I was like, that wasn't my niche on TikTok. So I
Yeah.
was like, I'm gonna just do it. And then, like I said, I told all my peoples, I was like, yo, y'all gotta go vote for me, blah, blah, blah. And they didn't disappoint. And, then it just led to me, building this awesome connection with Gray. And he's brought me on to so many other projects and we've worked together. And yeah, like, so I'm just, glad the way that all turned out.
hmm And in
That's good.
return, bro, I mean, every day, like the proudest moments I get is when I turn on TV and I'm watching a TV show and there you pop up.
Yeah.
and
Yo, that's
like
so awesome, man.
like
That's
I
so
like those
awesome.
are the proud like I feel like a proud dad
Yeah.
at that
Yeah.
like specific
Yeah.
moment. Like I'm clicking through
Yeah.
TV and I'm like, oh shit,
Yeah,
like
he's like, he's
drop
there.
everything, invite the neighbors.
Yeah.
Everyone
Invite the
tell them
neighbors
to
is
come
mad
over.
funny.
Look,
Oh my
Dave's
God.
sitting in the living room like, no, I promise I know him, showing people your number. He's like, I can't show you the whole number, but I promise you I got it. Like,
Yeah.
we talk on the phone. That's
I
awesome.
know him.
That's
Oh,
my
That's
boy
cool,
right
man.
there. I remember like watching freaking Blacklist, right? Like with Chris, because me and Chris, my wife, we're like diehard Blacklist fans. So
Right.
like we watch like every episode. Sure enough, like we're watching the scene, and this freaking and they come up to like wrestler and who was a wrestler? Was it Liz? Wrestler and Liz, or was it
Think
the
so. I definitely remember it was Agent.
wrestler? Was
Was
one
it
of them.
Wrestler and Bark or something like that? Agent Wrestler, and it was whatever. I remember the cop that he came up with. She was a new girl at the time. They had just brought her on as a series regular.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
she was in like an Asian girl. I can't
The
remember what her
Asian
name
girl,
was.
exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
So they come up. Me and Chris are watching it. We're like, yeah, like this is great, like because we love Blacklist.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, like they knock on the door. Door swings open. The mom comes up to the door, and like Danny's characters are like always in trouble with the law. I don't know why, but
Always.
they always make
I
him in
gotta get out
trouble.
of that.
He's-
They always
gotta
make
so
him
much
in
more than
trouble
that. I
with the
gotta,
law.
like,
Yeah.
Can I be the cop one time? I need to I need to get book like a series regular as a cop, so it
Yeah.
looks like a full
You
circle
can
moment.
carry,
All right.
yeah, you can carry both
Yeah.
sides.
I was always in trouble, and now I'm like making sure kids don't do the same thing I did.
Daddy, the
Like
cra-
he's
the-
always freaking.
But I was gonna say
playing-
the good part of that though is like he will know how to arrest them.
yeah.
He's been in the
Yeah.
back seat. You know, he's been the one on the other side of this trouble. So,
Always.
like he's well versed in like wow, this dude might run or something. So it's,
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyways, the door swings open, the mom comes back, she's like, all right, like what's going on? Like, why are you here? Like, you're here for my son? Like Danny comes on the screen. I'm like, shit, holy shit, Chris. Look at this. It's Danny.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you'd be so surprised. I was a little more timid at the time. It was my first network gig, and it was like a small role, I would say, even though there's no small roles. I just had a few lines, and with those things, you never know if you're gonna end up on the cutting floor or not.
Mm.
And I was kind of just at the moment like really just secure and just kind of doing my thing. I didn't really feel like I had to post it on social media at the time. Not saying that there's anything wrong with that, but for whatever reason, I was in a headspace where it's like I didn't really post too much about it like I do now, because I now know the advantages of posting on social media. So a lot of people didn't know I was on Blacklist. So like for 2 years after that, at least 3 years even, yeah, because that was in 2019. It was happening for a while, where it's like people, friends and family were just sending me videos and DMs like, bro, because I didn't know how popular the Blacklist was either.
Yes.
People were just like, yo, you're on Blacklist, sending me videos of them like, you ever see the meme of Leonardo DiCaprio when he's like on the couch watching a video, a movie, and he reaches up, he's like,
Yeah.
that was
Gotcha.
everybody when they
Yeah.
saw me on Blacklist, because they just didn't know, and I didn't know how popular the show was either. So yeah, people would just hit me up all the time, and people would be in my TikTok comments like, yo, are you the kid on Blacklist? And I'm like, wow, I should have promoted that a little more.
Yes.
It was
Dude,
the-
I'm pretty sure everyone
yeah.
in the nation watched Blacklist. Like
Yeah.
Blacklist,
yeah,
was
Blacklist
probably
is
Blacklist is
super-
huge.
Blacklist was probably the most popular TV show
Yeah.
that was out or
Yeah.
whatever at the time.
Yeah.
That's
The
funny, man.
most interesting thing for me about the Blacklist, so if you guys, if you remember the lady who played my mom, her name was Angela Grovey. And
Yeah.
one of my favorite movies when I was a kid was Joyful Noise with Queen Latifah
Mhm.
Yeah.
and Keke Palmer. I don't know if you guys ever seen it, but yeah, she was in Joyful Noise, and she was like a heavy supporting character.
Wow.
And I used to watch that when I was a kid all the time, before I ever thought about being an actor. I used to watch it with the family and all of that. And so I still do this till this day. Like whenever I book a role on TV or anything, I like search up my castmates that are coming on the show with me, just because I like to see what they look like before I meet them. It's a weird thing. I don't know why I do it. But yes, I saw who was playing my mom, and I was like, wow. So that was pretty cool for like my first primetime show and booking, to be working with a lady that I used to watch on
Right.
TV
Yeah.
and admire, and it was just like, wow. And now I'm working with you. It was so crazy. Yeah.
Do you
crazy.
have that dream? I mean, off that's a good note. Do you have that dream actor actress that you would love to work beside? And
Man, if I
I know I'm asking you an impossible question because like you probably have just a
yeah.
stacked list of people that
I
you
know
would
who
love.
DeMonte would want to
But I
work
mean
with.
like top three that you
Oh
would just
gosh.
love to like
Top 3.
line up
Alright, do
with.
you want it, like, from alright, yeah.
No
I don't
particular
really
order.
know
Yep.
yeah, I don't know the order of 2 and 3 really,
Yeah.
but, so I would love to work with Denzel
Yeah.
Washington.
Okay.
That would just be amazing.
Yeah.
Um, I'd love to work with Viola Davis too.
Yeah.
She's so cool.
Mm.
But it's like the list is so crazy. There's so many people I would love to work with,
Right.
like Taraji P. Henson,
Yeah.
Coleman Domingo. Like there's just so many people. But like the name that really pops out for me, if I ever got to work with him, this would just be a dream come true. Like if I met him, I would definitely have to control myself from fanning out. Is Will Smith
Okay.
because
Yeah.
he is just like my favorite person ever. Like him and Michael Jackson are like my biggest inspirations. Like it's crazy. Like Will
Yeah.
Smith, like he has inspired me so much to being a kid coming out of the hood. Growing up in West Philly, and he was a rapper, and even when he was successful as a rapper, he got into some trouble, but like he never let any of that define him. And then he was doing sitcoms, and so many
Right.
people, whether it's like they're working on a Disney show or any sitcom, they get stuck in that kind of niche of like you're just a sitcom TV actor. But he worked so hard
Right.
and then became like the biggest movie star on the planet.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's so crazy because it's like, and when you see Will Smith on screen, you can just see how comfortable he is in his body. Like he has
Mhm.
such a specific personality that he's not afraid to share with the world.
Mhm.
And just watching him growing up, like I remember being around my friends and like just being a little kid and how they were just singing out the theme song at the top of their lungs. And like I just
Mhm.
have like a clear memory of one day, like I think we were all hanging out at like church or something upstairs in a room, and everybody was singing the words to this song. And the song sounded so cool. It's like I didn't know the words and I wanted to know it with them. Now this is the story, y'all. Like it's just
Yeah.
so crazy that if I don't know if you guys know this, but the cut of the song that makes the show is not the full song.
Right.
Sure.
I know every word to the full
That
song.
was
Like
Yeah.
it's the full song.
yeah.
Like I might mumble a word or two, but I know everything. And I just have like a vision one day of me meeting Will Smith and just rapping the whole thing to him. But I'm like, I probably wouldn't do that. But
My
yeah,
cousin met Will
just
Smith, said he's like super cool. I mean, obviously, like right now, Will Smith may
He
not
took a
be
little heat for a
everyone's
minute.
fan with the smack or whatever.
Bad
hey
boys.
man, he's still my favorite person ever, man. We all make mistakes, and it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah, it
That's
was a
true.
mistake.
living under that pressure is so hard.
Yep.
It's like
I think like
let's say he
even for
wasn't a
Will, like he just had to show everyone like, hey, I'm
Hey
the
man,
big dog.
but it's
kind
no, it's what
yeah.
it's what Danny said though. I mean, let's be real. We're all human, and we all had them out of body experiences.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and there is a trigger. For none of us honestly know the real story behind any of that. But at the end of the
Yeah.
day, we do know story enough in ourselves that there is a trigger for every single person
Yeah.
on Earth that will send you
Exactly.
to a space that you never thought you would go.
Mhm.
And so like I
Exactly.
can tell you when that dude got dressed that night, there is nothing in him that said I'm getting dressed tonight to walk up here and do this.
And smack the
You
And
know,
crowd.
like it's
and
not,
there's no part of
so
me, and there's no part of me that sits here and feels like what Will Smith did was okay. Like it
right.
was wrong,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's like we all do things that are wrong. I
Yeah.
just don't think that's enough for us to define his character, the
Yeah.
content of
Correct.
his character.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, come on, like we all
No.
made mistakes. Like my little brother makes mistakes, and does that mean I'm gonna hold that over his head forever? Like, yes, he's Will Smith, but like, you know, let's remember that he's human too. So I still love
Hey,
him.
well, I'm gonna say though,
Yeah.
we got a
People
plug.
like to focus on the
Look,
negative. That's not what
yo,
we should be doing.
D,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this. So your number one person that you would probably work with is Halle Berry.
No,
No,
no.
you wouldn't want to work with Halle Berry.
I mean, I'm like him. Like I mean,
I
I'm
would
like
put
Danny.
her in
I'm
the top
I'm gonna put her
five.
on the list. But no, I mean, I don't think Holly's first on my list.
Who's
I
your
mean,
top?
it's hard to not say Denzel though for me. Like when
I
you
don't
start
like Denzel.
when you start
Just
looking
because
at
of personal experiences.
yeah,
Like
What?
Denzel, I don't even want to get too deep into it, but
it's just the
as a
body.
kid, he shut me down, and
Oh,
and it broke my heart from the age of 12 all the way till now. I think he's the
wait, like
best
you met him in person?
in person, and he broke my heart at the age of 12. and it stuck with
Oh
me
no.
all the way till now. I think
that
I
happens.
think
though.
he's the best actor in the world, and I think honestly, I think I put him in the top 5 acting all day.
all day.
But he
Well,
left
like
such a bad taste in my mouth when I met him.
you
Yeah.
don't have to go too deep into it, but it's like, I mean, a little curious on what happened because sometimes it's like he could have just gotten in an argument with his wife and was on the way home and just didn't want to be bothered. Like there's so
Nah,
many.
This is a
Like
little bit
what
different.
happened?
This
You know, okay.
this
What
Like,
is-
did
happened?
don't tell me he like took your face and mushed it.
I,
no.
That's
I know
different.
the story.
Yeah.
I know the story. I think you can tell, Dave. I
Did
Tell
he
the
treat you-
story.
Tell it.
No.
You
Did
can
he treat
say
you
for
like his son
yourself.
from Fences?
No, so 1 week in New York City, right? He played Brutus in Julius Caesar. And it was like the
Okay.
biggest deal ever because Denzel was still famous at the time. He like
Right.
this was like
He's hot.
after like he's hot,
He's
like
hot.
training day, like
Yeah.
all that sort of stuff, blazing hot. And so I'm sitting like I'm pumped up because like I'm the kid that loves entertainment even at that age. Like, so the usher comes up to me, like realizes like I'm super into the play. The usher walks up to me and is like, "Hey, listen, like I don't know if you can do this, but if you leave now and half the it's the half the show, so like there's a whole other half to go on. So he's like, if you leave now and if you go wait outside by the gates, he'll come out and he'll sign your playbill and take pictures with you or whatever." And so I did. So I went out and I told my teacher, and I was the first person to ever go to I was the first person in line to
line,
take
yeah.
pictures with me.
Right.
And so it's me and then another kid was right behind me or whatever. And so I'm first, I'm super pumped up to take a photo with Denzel. Like I have my playbill, and Denzel, sure enough, comes walking out. And I'm like, "Here you go." Like Denzel, like, "Hey, do you mind signing my playbill and taking a picture?" So he takes his playbill, signs it real quick. I go to take a picture, like put my hand around. He takes my hand and throws it off of him or whatever. Like true story, I promise. And I always remember this to this day. So then,
Did you put your hand in his back pocket when you did that?
no, I
Okay,
just was
I'm
like,
just
"Hey,
checking.
Denzel," like for a
So
picture.
when he
or whatever.
took the picture with you, he just didn't want to be touched.
Yeah, he wouldn't put. But you know what drove me crazy was the next kid, and this is what stuck with me.
He picked him
The
up.
next kid he picked up
He picked him up.
and was freaking holding him and doing all this sorts of stuff, and let me like look at it as a spectator. And from that day forward, I was like, you know what?
All right, I got two, and I know Danny looked like
Broke
Danny is
your heart.
Danny leaned in and started processing. So he would have. So he's just like me. This is the first time I've heard. So you've mentioned it,
Yeah.
but as much as we talk, it's the first time I've heard like the full run of the story.
Yeah.
You know, so I can see that you were what 12.
12. Yeah.
Okay, so I can see that 12-year-old. You're dejected. You have no idea. This dude is a megastar,
Megastar.
and
Correct.
sometimes being first in line ain't the best. And
Yeah.
you know that. We go on to sporting events and everything else. Sometimes you blaze right by them first 3 or 4. Think about it when we go to
Yeah.
Cowboys games or whatever. You got all them lines of kids out there, and guess what happens? Those folks that got in position that were sitting right on the gate.
Yeah.
Most of the time, unless they're sitting there holding something sparklers with a helmet in or something in their hand, they kind of get blazed by, and then they hit the middle of the line, and then they hit toward the end of the line because they can't touch all 500. So
Yeah.
so now shout out, we got to get Will. So now 2 things, because I was gonna manifest this for Danny. Wait, Will, if you're listening, Danny needs you to call him
Yeah.
so he can work. And Denzel, if you're listening, we still got this playbill,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and we're gonna pick this guy up and get a picture. And
We
make
need
sure-
to get Danny on the next season of Bel Air, I think.
Actually,
No,
so I
That's
could
so
see
crazy.
you being.
I've auditioned for it a few times, but I guess it just hasn't gone my way. I've auditioned a couple of times.
Keep
We've
doing
had-
But
it.
you know what? Also, it is sometimes, and I'm not saying I agree with this or not because I don't know if I do. Sometimes people tell me that I look like Jabari Banks a little bit,
A little bit. Yeah.
or like
yeah.
we're in the same typecast.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I don't know if me being on the sometimes they don't like people looking like the lead,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Jabari is amazing. So it's
Yeah.
like I don't know. I don't know.
I think
I
that's
don't.
probably what it is. It's
Yeah.
kind of
That's
like
probably what it
very
is.
similar in style
Yeah,
and
take
look.
it as a nod because they may be nervous that you become Jabari.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Feel the
sometimes it
tone.
may not be
like the
that,
number one thing as an actor is to, like, never really get too into why you didn't get picked for a job.
Right.
But I would love to work with Jabari because I think he is an amazing actor. I think he does a great job. But
That would be dope.
I'm all about trusting God's timing
You're
too,
right.
because it's just like how you meet somebody with timing can like really like set a foundation for what your relationship is going to be like.
Yeah.
Like perfect example, the lady who plays Katherine Jackson in MJ the Musical. I'm a huge MJ fan, so I've seen the show like 4 times, and her name is Ayanna George Jackson, and she is a powerhouse singer, like amazing. So she's one of those people, some people just don't really like. I don't know for whatever reason, but she usually doesn't come out after the shows, and I don't think that's any type of testament to the type of person that she is. So I'm not like trying to say anything about that, but some people just don't like that attention, so she never comes out after the shows. So I'm like, dang, but I really want to meet her. And then, so I'm doing my whole thing again, where I just the show that I'm working on right now for CBS. I'm doing my whole thing again, where I'm looking to see who my castmates are, and turns out that she's playing my mom.
Wow.
So I'm like, wow. Instead of meeting her as like a fan, which is fine, I'm now meeting her as a colleague, where we're kind of like meeting eye to eye.
That's cool.
So I got to meet her on the set of a TV show,
Holy crap.
playing her son.
That's awesome.
And that was just so interesting because it was kind of out of the lights. So we were able to have like a real conversation, and I was able to give her flowers, and we were able to connect. And, like we're actually connected now. So, when I do meet Will Smith, it'll be at a really good time.
And it's when
dude,
it is for sure when you meet him because you.
I
will
mean,
meet
tell us
him.
about
Like,
freaking Donnie Wahlberg, bro.
Donnie Wahlberg was so cool, man. Like, and I said this on the last podcast that we did together, Gray. But so I got to set, right? And I know I have 3 days, and I know I have a scene where I really have to like break down and start crying. Sometimes you have the choice that you make as an actor to cry if you feel like the scene permits for it. Other times it's written in the script, so you can kind of have like that emotional pressure of like, oh, I have to get there. So I did it in my audition. I did it for my callback, and I'm like going to set now, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to do this, and I feel ready, but like the nerves are always there, and I'm hoping like maybe they do it on my second, third day, so I got like room to get warmed up. Nah, like we did it on the first day, first scene that we shot. And I was like,
Oh,
That's-
no. Shit. Like,
I would have been fired. There's no way.
you got to get to crying right away.
yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, we rehearsed it a couple of times, and I remember when they walked in the room, Donnie Wahlberg and Will Estes, who plays Jamie on the show, Donnie's brother. And I went, wow, like, because I was sitting down, so it was like, from my point of view, I was looking up at them, and I was just like, wow, like I'm in the room with them, and I've seen them on TV. And we rehearsed it a few times. I didn't cry yet because I was saving it for the camera. But what was so cool is that when I went back to my waiting room, because they were now setting up the shot, Donnie stopped in my waiting room and he asked if I was okay. He was like, yo, do you need anything? And I just thought that was so cool because he didn't really have to do that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he did it is because he knew that we were about to do a pretty heavy scene. But I will just always remember that because I like to consider myself a nice guy, and I just love doing that for people. So it's like when someone does it for you too, it's like,
It's a different feeling.
it's just nice.
Yes.
Like there really
Yeah.
are good people out there. And,
Yeah.
I really feel like I was being taken care of by like, one of the
Star.
highest people on the call sheet. He really checked in to see if I was okay. And he was like, if you need anything, just let me know. I was like, wow, he didn't have to do that because I'm going to show up and do my work regardless. But when
Yeah.
your castmates are nice and, it's someone who's been on the show forever, you can feel intimidated coming in as someone who's new on the show. But he really like welcomed me in. Same with Will Estes. Like when I was doing my scenes with him, he was just like always asking if I was okay, if I felt like weird about speaking up with something. They would speak to the crew for me, and yeah, it was just really, really cool. Donnie Wahlberg was really cool, man. Like I remember after we cut my scene, like he started making a joke because I was like still had the tears rolling down my face, and he comes back in with his Boston accent. He's like, "Oh, don't do that! He's like, "You're gonna make us cry." Like I saw the raw footage, and you can just see him coming back in the just like, "Yeah, man, like you got us," or whatever he said. But yeah, I got to have a lot of great conversations with him about the business, about the craft, and he was just feeding positivity into me, man. Like that guy told me I'm next up like at least 5 times, and I was just like, yo, like you don't understand how much I appreciate that.
That's good, man.
Hell yeah.
That's
Yeah.
And
good.
your role in that was freaking intense, bro. That
Yeah,
was a dope freaking episode. Like they
yeah,
put you through the ringer in that character.
Well, he had to cry
yeah.
as
They
soon as he
sure
got out the
did.
car. I mean, I can't even
Yeah, they
Yeah,
put
imagine.
you they put
yeah.
you through the Yo, so like crying, do a lot of actors real cry or does some of them pour the teardrops or like how does that work? Does some of them do teardrops?
I think that might be a thing. Like I spoke to my self-tape coach about it once, and he did say that sometimes, hey man, and I don't put myself above anything. I might get to set one day, and for whatever reason, I'm just not feeling it. Like I'm not 35 years old yet with kids and a wife,
Yeah.
and then got to show up to work and then do whatever they're asking me to do. But yeah, I think sometimes, it does happen where it's like they got to work some magic for you. But for the most part, I think that actors do try to stay true to it, and just kind of just do the thing, which is what I try to do a lot of the time. Yeah.
It's good, man. You come off extremely genuine. I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh, thank you.
I'll give you that. I mean, when you mentioned being a nice guy, and we talk about it a lot, man. Like it's something. It's hard to fake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Actor or not, it's hard to fake,
Yeah.
man. Like everybody can
Yeah.
put that face on when they need to put that face on, but the
Mhm.
same thing that be a mark. Like
Yeah.
when you climb to that pinnacle,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
don't forget that guy or that girl that was in there trying to grind and climb, just like
Yep.
you were, that had to hit that cry scene right out the gate.
Yep.
That all the nerves are, just
Yeah.
don't ever lose that. I think it's important not to lose,
Yeah.
those lessons because it's only gonna send you higher. So
That's a
keep doing
Care
fact,
what
Bear,
you
man.
you
do.
been
That's what it's all about,
Yeah, keep doing what you do, man.
Care Bear, you've been so quiet through this
I
episode.
know. I didn't want to interrupt. So
In and
I
out.
mean,
We've been
you guys are just
entertaining,
awesome.
man.
I just want to
Yeah,
like keep
yeah.
keeping off the
So
platform, but
you got any questions for Danny?
I would just say that I guess what I was going to ask is, what role do you want to play? Are you interested in comedy? Sounds like you're doing serious roles, or like you said,
Yeah.
bad guys or something. But is there a certain one in particular that is more challenging that you want to get into, or are you
I'm
just
really
kind of
comfortable. I'm really comfortable with doing both. I
awesome?
professionally speaking, I haven't got the chance to do anything really comedic yet, but I honestly I feel like I'm a really good comedic actor. Like, I mean,
Dude,
you see it on my
Yeah.
TikTok.
you're a freaking
I get
killer
Yeah, no, it's
in
good.
comedy.
yeah,
That's what
I see that you would be too.
Yeah.
yeah. Where I get my living a lot right now is just like through dramatic roles, but I can't wait for the day that I'm able to like really do something on the big screen that is comedic because I really do feel like I have those comedic chops. Like, and that's why I think I admire Will Smith so much because he's able to do both,
Flexing
and like
both.
I
Yeah.
kind of like
Yeah.
I'm
Yo,
able
we
to
gotta
do
link
both
Danny
too.
with Cedric.
Oh yeah, that'd be
I
good.
think.
Good point. Yeah.
Get Dan like I'll
Like it was
shoot
Cedric the Entertainer, that'd be good.
I'll shoot Cedric your info and say
Yeah.
this is the guy you need to play like your son in a movie or something. Or
That
whatever.
Let
would
that-
be so dope, man.
let
That'd be
that
so
comedy
dope. Like,
Yeah,
spin
because
start there.
we've had Cedric on the
Yeah.
podcast and we're holding on to his episode for the greatest
For the
time ever
drop.
or whatever.
yeah.
But Cedric's the
And-
coolest cat in the world.
Yeah, he's super cool.
And
You know what's sorry, go ahead.
yeah, so I was saying like you play Cedric's son in some like movie.
You're talking about
or what-
Cedric the Entertainer, right?
Yeah, Cedric the
Entertainer.
Entertainer. Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah, that'd be dope.
Yeah.
That
Then
would be so
then
much
we'll
fun.
bring you guys back. If we're talking comic relief, we'll bring you guys back for Father's Day episode.
Yeah.
Oh,
Y'all be on the show
Exactly.
together.
Exactly.
Wow, you guys have it all planned out. Like, look at that.
Exactly.
We're not
Yeah.
gonna let you off the
Yeah.
hook. You'll be back.
Yeah, because Ced is like the coolest cat in the world.
Yeah, he was
man.
outstanding,
And like
actually.
freaking
He's super
and
laid
like
back.
he not only is he amazing actor, but he's shooting movies and
Yeah.
doing stuff and
Yeah.
whatever. Like he'd be a good person to get you
Right.
linked with to doing some of those comedy roles that you haven't hit yet.
Yeah,
But
that'd be good.
you
Yeah.
should be.
I've worked with some people in like theater where I've gotten to do like comedic stuff. And theater is like when you see it, and that's pretty much it. But they tell me because they know I work predominantly in drama right now. They're like, "Yo, you got to get in some comedic stuff."
Yeah.
Like I'm a goofball all the time in real life. So I definitely maybe it'll end up being my show because I'm actually writing my own show, which is like a comedic show. Maybe it'll end up being that.
Are you
I
run-
end up giving myself the
That's
opportunity.
great. You doing that through your? I saw you got the Life Films.
Awesome.
That's you doing it on that side of
Yes.
things. Okay.
Yeah. So it will be produced by Life Films and then also combined with whatever studio picks it up at the time. But
Okay,
yeah, I definitely want to do it in house.
that's good, man.
Okay.
Make all the
Still
money.
writing the
Hell
pilot for
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, make all the money. Don't spread it.
Yeah.
All right, so listen, we do got to wrap up now, but
Okay.
as always, I always like to go around the table with any final words. Like we always start with Karen because she's the queen of positivity.
Okay.
Care Bear.
Karen, what sort
Well,
of
you have
positivity
been.
could you leave Danny
I would
with?
just I just would say, Danny, it was awesome meeting you. You have a very engaging personality, and I know that you're going to be successful in anything you do because it
Oh,
sounds like
thank
you're
you
a
so
hard
much.
worker. Yeah, you're gonna, if you put
Thank
your
you
mind
so
to it, you
much.
can accomplish anything. So
Thank you
I look
so
forward to
much.
seeing your next thing that you know can't let us know about yet.
Oh, thank you
Yeah,
so
right.
much.
Yes,
Right.
It's an
exactly.
exciting
Secret
one.
sauce.
Awesome.
Exactly.
That's all. That's cool, man.
What about you, D?
Oh yeah, man. Hey, I kind of spit mine out a few minutes ago. Don't lose those lessons. Don't keep sharing it. Keep being
Mhm.
genuine, Danny. I don't care how big you get. I noticed one of your clips that red carpet will 100% be yours, and I hope to see you sharing
Amen.
it with
Amen. I
hope to
claim
see you
that.
sharing it with Will. So
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
it's good to
Thank you so
done, man. We
much.
appreciate you.
And for me, Danny, the journey continues, bro. Me and you are still, you're still my boy, no matter what.
Yes,
Through
sir.
through
Come
the
on now,
thin,
brother.
through the thick, we got this made, and this is a journey that we take together, like in both of our careers and stuff. So you know, I'm 100%
Mhm.
supportive to you at any given day, any given time. Anything I
Mhm.
can do to see you win, I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
And you will be when I promise, like people in 2 or 3 years, this is the kid you're gonna be looking at. Cause
Yeah.
when that one roll hits,
That's all it takes.
it's over.
That's it.
So
Amen.
Yeah.
just
Thank you
keep
so
tuned
much,
to the
man.
greatness and enjoy Mr. Danny Olabi, aka
sir.
Sneaky Life.
Sneaky.
He is the man, the
Yes, sir.
truth, the legend. Nastyville.
Ride around my top down, window shaking a lot now. I'ma stay proud, no Kane Brown, but I thank God for these days now. Don't make sounds, crash glass, no rebounds. N town, Nastyville, and I stay proud now.